right. It's time once again for another review. This time we're reviewing a movie. Bill, you have the reins. What did we watch this week?
We watched Mohawk. It was a 2017 movie directed by Tim Joe Heaton. I don't
Long
know.
last name.
He's got a very big presence on Twitter and
Oh yeah?
yeah, that guy. I know he's a big movie buff and a big like horror buff guy. So
Yeah. And this is
Okay.
sort of horror, but it's more gore. It's not. There's no like.
Yeah, there's no horror.
Yeah.
no, zero. And I don't know, we'll talk about it, but it kind of felt like it never committed in one way. Like it was either horror or I don't know. We'll get to it.
It was. I enjoyed it enough, but it was very much a low budget movie.
Right.
Yes.
And it was like let's
gonna
wrap
say.
it up. Let's skip plot holes. Let's just
This is so low budget.
yeah.
For a low budget movie, though, it is pretty good.
What it was, I just discovered
like
it by
a fan
flipping through
film.
Netflix late one night and thought like, oh, I don't know, that looks like it might be okay, and it was okay.
The thing is I would have liked to them have committed more to the horror.
I thought they were going to.
Like really
When
go
they showed Bird Skeleton Man or whatever that was.
Yeah, early in the. Yeah.
I thought that was going to play a role, and it does play a role, but not the way I thought.
Yeah.
I guess you
It was going to be a big deal.
With like half an hour left, it started like going into a different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of time left when they whacked both of them. I'm like, okay. We have like 20 minutes left.
All right, well, you can get
All right. So it centers around three people. Oak Waho, who is the main character. She's a woman, and her two friends / we find out very quickly her boyfriends.
Two boyfriends?
Calvin and a British dude named Joshua.
Right. So they're like a triumvirate.
Yeah, a polyamorous
thing.
Mhm.
three person deal. It's unclear to me if Calvin and Joshua are together as well, or if they're just both hanging out with Oak. But
yeah, I couldn't tell that. She's in Letterkenny.
Is Letterkenny good?
I don't
It
know
is.
what
It's
Letterkenny
funny.
is.
What is it?
It's Trailer Park Boys in Canada, is what I've
It's
heard.
already Trailer Park Boys.
I've never heard of Trailer Park, or I've never watched Trailer Park Boys, but that's like what I've heard. So,
Like,
But
I think it's like yeah.
it's worth a watch. But yeah, she's a native Canadian in Letterkenny.
She's
She
from like
actually is.
a descendant
she's-
of the Mohawk tribes up near Quebec.
Yeah, up near Montreal. Yeah.
Okay.
Now I looked at it. This was all filmed near Syracuse.
Yeah, because
Really?
that's where this was supposed to be, is out in that area.
Well, we'll talk about Fort George. What Fort George are they talking about? Because the only Fort George at that time was Fort George in Canada. And
so maybe
were they
maybe
going
they
to
were up there.
Canada?
Maybe.
yeah,
but
I
I-
don't know, but
Maybe this took place in Rochester.
they did
Yeah,
say
it was
it's in
supposed
New
to be
York.
like that.
They
Yeah,
did say New York, so
I believe it's supposed to be taking place like right there, like Rochester, Syracuse,
Buffalo.
like that area. Because I don't know.
and Fort George is right across like the Canadian border, like near Niagara Falls. So it could
Right.
very well be that it was out in Western New York.
Hmm.
So, anyways, we start with the movie and we see an axe being thrown, and it's the three of these characters: Oak, Calvin, and Joshua, and they're meeting with Oak's mother. I don't remember her name, but basically she's speaking as like the tribal leader, and they're trying to get her.
Weren't
By-
women the leaders of the Mohawk tribe?
I don't think so, because they talk about like if they don't like what you say, we're just gonna go get Uncle. We're gonna go find Uncle and see what he thinks instead. But she seems to be the stand-in, and they're basically saying, listen, the British and the Americans are fighting each other, the War of 1812. You got to pick a side or you're going to die. And the mother says to the British guy, like, you just want us to be your human shields. Like, you don't care about us. Because he's saying that, like, the Americans don't like you. They just want you gone. And she's like, you just want us to die. We're not going to help you either. So they get into an argument, and then the younger folks basically say, like, we have to go and find Uncle and the rest of the elders and see what they want to do. So they all kind of first, Calvin runs off into the woods, and then Oak and Joshua kind of slump off on their own. We meet up with them the next morning, where we find out that they're kind of together, and they're drinking and wandering through the woods on their way to meet up at the fort with the rest of the Mohawk Indians. They kind of pass out, fall asleep, whatever, and they wake up and they're trying to find out where Calvin is, and all of a sudden he comes pounding out of the woods and basically says, I just killed all of them. I just killed.
Yeah. Who did he kill?
He killed a whole bunch of American soldiers.
He said 22 people.
Yeah, 22 sleeping American soldiers.
And were these the people we see later?
The people we see later were like
At the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's when you see
that's
them
what I'm
later.
talking about. The
At
very end.
They weren't Americans, though, were they?
What do you mean at
The-
the very end? At the
The
fort?
very, very end.
Those are the missionaries.
Yeah,
No,
no,
no, no.
we don't see these. We don't see
Don't
the
see these
people they killed.
Okay.
We never see them.
I don't think.
Yeah, because the American dude at the end says,
Oh, says,
"Oh,
why
would
did you make
bring
me come back here? Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
Oh, so they weren't there. They were out on patrol or something.
Yeah, well, we find out when they run into this group of guys, they're like the scouts essentially,
And why did he kill them?
because they're the ones that were coming to kill. He wanted to first strike, basically,
Right.
kill them before they kill us.
Gotcha.
And Oak says, well, now they're all going to come. And you just brought the whole army on us, basically.
Dumb.
So the three of them are kind of like trying to hurry through the woods. And all of a sudden, Joshua finds himself on his own. The two Native Americans have just disappeared into the forest. So he kind of just goes down to a river, and he's getting a drink of water. And all of a sudden, this American soldier shows up in uniform and starts talking to him. And you can tell Joshua doesn't like him, but they're trying to fake that they're still going to be nice to each other.
And now this is the War of 1812. This is not the Revolution.
No, this is
No.
1812.
This
Yes.
is 1812, and like a weird war that America kind of
Wasn't it the French?
no, it was American and the English, where America kind of what's the word I'm thinking? Kind of like started the war, like declared the war, and then Washington got burnt down. And a lot of it
Right.
does happen up there on the border up
Yeah.
that way.
Because they still have like claims in Canada.
Yes.
England
yes.
does. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think, Ryan, you're thinking of the French and Indian War, I believe.
Probably.
Yeah, which was before the American Revolution, right?
French and Indian was before the Revolution.
Hmm. Okay.
So anyways, he ends up talking to the soldier, and he's trying to like back away from it and go like, and they basically, you see, instead of just the one younger boy, now there's like 6 soldiers that are all there pointing guns at him. One of them, of course, being Mr. Luke Harper, aka Brodie
Right.
Lee,
Brodie Lee.
One
aka
dude with
Jonathan Huber.
one guy with the wacky glasses.
Yep. We got wacky glasses.
Beal.
We got Beal, the crazy. He's not the colonel. He's the captain, or vice versa.
Captain Holt.
And then so there's 6 of them total, and they basically surround him. And as he's trying to back away, they said like he's not here by himself. He's here with Indians. And the Indians come out, and the 2 come out to like attack and try to save him, and they end up killing one of the American scouts and running off into the woods.
They kill the colonel, and then Captain
Yeah.
Holt takes over.
Yeah, so they kill the guy who was actually trying to stop the violence from happening.
Yeah.
And then like his crazy sidekick takes over.
The
for him.
dude with the enormous ears.
Yes, his enormous ears.
Bonkers ears.
So big.
While they're off running, Oak kind of takes off on her own to like try to get up to camp, and the 2 guys are together. That's Yancey's the other one, the translator.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
doesn't
Noah
look like he even knows how
Yancey.
to hold a gun.
Noah Sagan, who's been in every single Ryan Johnson movie, And he's actually a pretty good sized star. He's been in Brick. He was in Knives Out. He's in a bunch of stuff.
Was he in Star Wars episode whatever?
Yes, he was. He was in Looper. He was the shithead
Was he in
Looper in Looper. He was the shithead one.
He kills himself at the beginning, or his like Looper kills him at the beginning, or whatever.
I don't know.
I
Maybe.
haven't seen Looper in a long time.
It's been a while, yeah. So basically, they run away and they hide just enough that they get away from the Americans, and they kind of go meet up with other Indians and realize that they're in a good deal of trouble now.
Damn it, Calvin.
Yep. But they do meet up with the other people who just, and they're trying to figure out what's going on when now the larger group of Indians are approached by the 5 remaining Americans, and they get into their own little standoff here. So there's a little bit of shooting, and we end up getting to the plot of the whole movie, which is the Americans are trying to track down the 3.
Yeah, it gets real small.
Yeah, the 3 young people, and they basically say, because they try to approach him and just say, listen, we only want Calvin. He killed 22 people. He's going to go before a court of law, but we need him.
Yeah.
And obviously, no one is willing to just hand over because they know that means he just dies.
Yeah.
Oh, and the 2, Oak and Calvin, are in war paint the entire movie. Even before they're fighting, they are in war paint.
Yeah.
And
it's
Calvin,
cool looking
of course,
war paint.
It is. And Calvin, of course, has a mohawk.
Right.
Of course.
Right.
Because he's a Mohawk soldier or warrior or whatever.
His war paint was really cool. How it just like
hers was cool too. The eyes.
Yeah.
He had just the bottom, and she had the eyes. There's a lot of cool like little things in there, with, like the zooms. Like they zoom in on one person, then zoom out. Like they're really going for it here, but it's just so small. Like the story is just so tiny, and it doesn't surprise me at all. Like what happens in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that when they kill the captain, her mother also dies. So they both lose like the leader.
All right.
Right. That's right. That's right.
But then, yes, Captain Hezekiah Holt.
Big ears.
Ezra Buzzington, Big Ears, takes over. And now the rest of the crew just says, like, we need to go. Like, if they go and get the rest of their tribe, the 5 of us are dead.
Yep.
And he says, like, no, we're going to find them before they can get to everybody else. And we're going to take them back in. We can't go back, like, empty-handed, basically. So they end up tracking him with the goofy eye glasses guy.
Yeah, what was that?
He has an eye injury.
Yeah, it looked like his eye was burned. Like
very bizarre.
Yeah.
It's like a steampunk kind of thing, I guess.
Yeah. And so the rest of the Americans want to go home, and Holt won't let them. So they go off into the woods looking. And they end up kind of setting a trap and surrounding, and they catch Calvin. And they're kind of torturing him, and they're trying to get information out of. Oh, I take that back. He attacks them.
Yeah.
To try to like, here, you 2 go, and I'll go back and distract them, basically.
Yeah, you'll get away.
But his distraction is to straight up attack them.
Yeah.
So they end up fighting him off, and they have him kind of hung up over a tree, not to kill him, but to torture him more. And they end up like choking him, and they're saying, like, where's your squaw? They keep saying, where's the girl? Aren't you afraid for her? Aren't you afraid that she's out there all alone? And he says, no, but you should be. And then they decide, all right, let's pour hot water down his mouth, like boiling hot water. And it is brutal to watch.
So gross. They torture the fuck out of him. It's gross.
Yeah, and they basically say, then Holt's idea is we don't need to find them. He's going to scream when we torture him, and that's going to bring them back to us.
Which it does.
And it works. And actually, Oak at one point says, like, he wouldn't want us to go back. But then just does. He just runs back. And while they're standing and waiting for him to come back, he sure does come back, and he shoots the young kid, Holt's son, we find out, right in the head.
Yep.
And so now Holt is extra mad because his son is dead.
He gets weird too. He's like, he gets naked and like bathes in the pond or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
He yells at him for talking.
it's very bizarre. He turns his character is
Psycho.
super weird.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm promoted. Who told you were promoted? Me. Oh, my son's dead. Oh no, never mind. I'm back to the original version.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird the way I feel like this is a low budget thing where they just kind of gloss through and just.
Yeah, they don't.
We got to
linger
get to
on
the
it.
next
It's
scene.
fast too. It's like this movie's only an hour and a half, which is thank God. But yeah, they don't like linger on anything. This is
No.
the longest thing that they linger on is him like doing this speech while he's in the pond.
Yeah. So as they go to chase Joshua, Oak actually is able to sneak in and talk to Calvin, who is dying, and the translator Yancey like points a gun at her and says like stop, and he threatens to shoot her, and she says like I'm pregnant, and then he won't shoot her. But Calvin she ends up running off because Calvin's almost dead, and then they make sure that he is fully dead.
They kill. Yeah.
See, I like this because Yancey didn't give her up.
Right.
Like he covered for her, and then later on, it backfires.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So now we do get the scene where he's naked in the water because his son's dead, and you get to see old man butt.
Yep.
Man, but
And then the tracker basically gets put in charge of like you have to get them now. Like you have to find them, and I forget the guy's name because he keeps talking about how much he loves her.
Goggles.
But he loves Goggles.
Beal.
Beal. Thank you.
Bradley Beal. Is he a bad tracker? Isn't there a scene where he's like, "You suck. You've been going in circles for the last."
Well, yeah, that's coming up.
Yeah, they get into a fight about it, and it's because Holt keeps saying we got to go this way, and Holt is leading them in circles.
Right.
And they end up tracking, and he says like, "You're bad at this." And then as he does it, he like points. He's like, "Look at that!" And they basically find a bear den, just like an open hole in the woods. And so they're like, "Well, this is probably where they're hiding." So they go to send in Yancey because no one else wants to. So Yancey's creeping down this bear, and I just kept waiting for a bear paw to slap him right in the face. I was actually hoping it was a bear.
They didn't have the special effects to pull that off.
No.
Yeah.
But he gets down there and he sees Joshua, and he starts trying to back out and screaming and says like they're in here. And so the two of them grab him and try to pull him in, and they end up Big John Huber pulls him back out. And they say like they're in here. So they go, all right, we're just gonna smoke them out then. And they get green wood and leaves and stuff and just start pouring smoke in. So we get a little scene in there where she starts talking about the future, and Oak says like, I'm pregnant. And Joshua says, oh, is it Calvin's? Right away, doesn't say is it mine. Oh, it must be Calvin's.
Must be.
And she says, I assume no. Because then he says,
yeah.
I think she says, I don't know. Because she says the same thing.
She says it twice.
When he asks both
and
questions.
he says, is it mine? So I was wondering if she was saying, no, it's neither of yours. But yeah, you're right. She probably was saying,
What?
Nope, she's just a big old hole.
You're probably
Nope.
right that she was saying she
Nope.
didn't know who it was. But she said she's pregnant at this point. And then he says like, well, we don't have a future anyways. And she's like, all right, well, I'm not going to die. So and they dig their way out. Basically, they dig their way out the back of the hole.
Let me kill Bill to this. Get out of here with this axe.
Yep. So they dig out and they escape. And then the tracker, a little while later, sees smoke rising out of the ground and says like, I don't think they're still in there. And they sure enough find out that the two of them have escaped out a newly created back door to this bear cave.
A weird bad plan, right? Am I wrong about that? Bad plan.
To escape out the back door?
No, to go in there in the first place.
Oh, to go, yeah.
Yeah,
right?
probably.
Bad plan?
Yeah.
To back yourself into a literal cave?
Yeah, where there's no back door to get out?
Hey, they find it.
Yeah.
I guess.
So they go hiking through, and they're still trying to. We got to get to the fort. We got to get to the fort, and they happen upon what appears to be a fur trader's little station.
Oh yeah.
I thought this was going to come back too, and it never did.
Yeah, this did not show back up. The gun, whose gun shows up in movies?
Frenchman.
No, what is
Chekhov's
it?
gun.
Yeah, not in this case. So there's a Frenchman trader, and they want to take his canoe, and so they just go to. And Joshua's actually like, "But we don't have anything to trade him." And Oak's like, "Are you kidding me right now? Like, you gotta go." So they end up getting in the canoe just as the French guy comes back, and he starts yelling at him, and he gets his gun, and they cannot communicate. He doesn't speak English. They don't speak French.
Why are you holding the axe out like that? Like you're going to stab him? Why not hold it the other way? Like,
hold it by the head
here,
and
have
the
that.
handle out
like
first.
I'm trying to give this to you.
Also, I feel
Don't
like
hurt me.
a canoe
No,
is
I'm
worth a
trying to
lot
give
more
it to
than an
you.
axe. I don't know, but
Yeah.
so basically, Joshua says like here and throws an axe at him,
Yeah.
and then
He
they just, like,
doesn't. He doesn't take kindly to this.
no, he does not.
No,
and he
he's
tries
I'm
to
being
shoot him,
attacked by these two fucking weirdos.
and they end up just stealing his
Correct.
boat.
Yep.
And he gets mad and he fires off a shot, which almost hits one of them.
Yes,
I did like how like no one can shoot anyone in this movie,
Yes.
which
I
is
mean,
like
it's accurate.
because it's muskets. No one can shoot anyone ever, and like people can get out of like a really bad situation where like it looks like someone's gonna get shot and killed, but they just bum rush someone, and just like slap the gun out of their hand. Like,
Yeah.
nope, you're not gonna shoot me from point blank range. Nope.
So they're on the river now, making their way to the shore or to the fort.
To the mission. They're going to the mission.
Right. They're going to a mission to find the rest of the
Her uncle and
her cousins.
yeah.
And she kind of falls asleep on the river. And for the second time, actually, in the movie, she has a dream where there's some kind of crazy ghost warrior thing wearing like a skull for a face. But it's all bloody and broken, and you can see like blood coming out all over the place. And it clearly is meant to be some kind of omen, but she doesn't seem to understand what it's telling her or what she's supposed to be seeing. But then he wakes her up to say, like, we're here.
Is he Bray Wyatt? Is he the Fiend?
Fiend could be in this movie. So they get to the fort, and it's empty, but like the fire's still smoking. There's still like water in the basins and stuff. Like clearly,
Everybody's dead.
whoever had been here was here very recently. So they go looking around, and they don't see anybody, and they're going in and out of houses. And then they wander outside, and they happen upon dead missionaries. And as they look, at this point, do they find dead Indians, or is it just the?
It was three
Her
dead
uncle.
Indians and then the one missionary.
Yes, and of course, the white guy cares about the missionary that he's never met before, and not his girlfriend's family. But as they're there trying to figure out what has happened, they are attacked by
By that crew of five.
Are we down to 4 at this point? Or
4, yeah. The son's
Yeah.
dead.
It's
4.
dead. And they are attacked, and fighting ensues, and they capture and kill Joshua.
Yeah, he dies.
But as he's dying, he takes a razor and he slashes at
Yes.
Goggles.
at
Beale.
at Goggles' throat and just
Yeah, he kills
him too.
Yep.
And then
What?
Oak ends up in like a little. She gets her hand.
Her hand is stuck to a
He
post
stabs-
with a knife through it.
The captain, Holt stabs right through her hand and basically sticks her to a post.
Crucifix her.
Yeah.
As she watches her boyfriend first get punched out by
Brodie Lee
Lee,
like
and then
annihilates him.
killed. And then we see him take out the other guy too. And then Beale basically just shoots her in the heart and leaves her there. Because like
Okay.
any good bad
What
guy,
the
you
fuck?
just assume she's dead and leave.
Shoots her in the heart.
Yep.
It's
In the chest.
It was
It's in the
high.
chest.
It was high up.
high. Hey, I'm no
Okay.
doctor, but
All right.
Cardiology is not my
Next week
specialty.
on the Cardiology 101.
It's a secret passion of mine, actually. You didn't know.
I did not know.
Cardiology, secret passion.
Okay, so now the three remaining guys, Beal and
Nope. Giant.
Beal. Not Beal.
Beal's
Yeah.
dead.
Holt and Luke Harper and the
Holt
translator.
and
Yancey.
Yancey. And
Yancey.
what the hell was Luke Harper's character's name?
I think his name was Giant.
Was it Giant?
Let me see. I think I have it here. Lackland.
Lackland?
Yeah, so they don't really call him that very often.
No.
No.
So they go wandering back off in the woods. Now they're trying to make it to Fort George at this point.
Yep.
And they're saying like it's a 2-day march from here. And then this is where you see them just going in circles.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we go back and we see another flash of the nightmare or the fortune,
whatever that is.
We see the animal mask and the person all bloody, like they're destroyed in it. And she wakes up and realizes, oh, hey, I'm not dead. Everyone else
That monster
is.
thing tells her to wake up.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Get up. And then she sees that Joshua is in fact dead. So she goes back and then just kind of decides, if I'm going to do this, I need a haircut.
Oh, yeah. This was
First, let me give them a head start.
Yep.
And I'm going to give myself a haircut.
Because she wants to be a warrior. So she gives herself a mohawk.
Wait, when does she like fall down a hill? I didn't like that either. Where she like
That was earlier.
randomly.
little-
Was it
no, that's
before
a little
that?
later. It's a little later than this.
She like
that's
falls
gonna-
down a hill and like conveniently lands on the bones that are part of that nightmare bone thing.
Yeah, that hasn't come up yet. Right now, she's turning herself into a Mohawk warrior by giving herself a mohawk with a, well, I was gonna say like an old dull razor, but it was enough, I guess, to kill the guy.
Yeah.
But
Can't
she
be that
very
dull.
crudely just shaves her head, like she's blood everywhere. from
Yeah.
Her head is
cutting her
red. Yeah,
She's scalping herself.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So as they wander in the woods, she goes at chasing after him, and as you said, falls down the hill, lands on the very mask that her omen has been wearing.
Yeah, she like falls down onto
And
it.
she finds the bones and
Oops.
realizes, oh, that thing is me.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This was where it started getting like,
I hate this.
where it seemed like it was a different director or something like that, where the movie went a different direction.
It went to warp speed. That's what happened.
That's what I wish it had kind of been like this the entire time.
Yeah, this is where it
Like
gets
her
more
nightmare
gory.
thing, you mean?
It's gotta
Yeah.
it's gotta either stick to the beginning thing or go all out with the way.
But it can't stick with the beginning thing because her boyfriends are both dead now.
Or could she have like died in the beginning? We think she's dead, and then this nightmare thing hunts them for the rest of the movie, and then we find out
Right.
it's her. Like that's how
Exactly.
it should have went.
Exactly.
She should have been shot in the heart in like the first 10 minutes,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. I think that
And then
would've
she
been
comes
way
back
better.
at the end. Like that's seems much more enjoyable to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
So as she's playing around with this thing, we go back to the three remaining British dudes in the woods, and they're all getting mad at each other. They all want to, they're afraid they're going to leave each other. They're going to all die out here. And they all kind of get themselves separated in their haste here.
Is this where teleportation becomes a part of the movie where people just start teleporting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Like
that's what
she
I
can
meant.
teleport, Brodie Lee can teleport. Like it's just things just are so
teleport.
So to be clear, there's
Yancey-
no actual
Yeah, he
teleportation.
can
They just
yeah.
are kind of people are showing up and disappearing.
yeah, like they're walking in the woods, they turn around, no one's there. They walk another 20 feet and then they're like randomly behind a tree or something. Like, what? What
Well,
the
that
fuck
was
just
when it
happened?
becomes a horror movie.
Yeah, but
So
it makes no sense.
Brodie
That's-
Lee gets separated from everyone, and he goes looking for Yancey, and eventually finds his head on a stick in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, that was gory.
And
Yeah,
it's just
good thing you
it's clear
protected Mohawk or
there.
Oak.
So he gets mad, and he goes to, or not mad, he gets like scared, and he goes to find the other guy, and falls into a trap and breaks his leg. His knee bends entirely the wrong way.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this either. He already had a brace.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's had a brace this whole time,
Yes.
and he re-injures the same leg,
Mhm.
and like breaks it badly. So the guy comes and finds him and basically sets it very crudely right there in the woods. And he's like,
And
I
then he
can't.
starts walking on it.
Well, he's like, I can't go anywhere. And the captain is like, you need to walk on it, and makes him walk on a twice broken leg. He's like, a doctor will take that off. He's like, oh no, I'm not losing this leg.
This is
Yeah.
pretty good acting by Brodie Lee, this whole
Yeah.
section now. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
he's pretty
he's
good
not
actor.
bad.
It's almost as though he's got 2 decades of experience pretending to be in pain.
There you
It's
go.
wild.
Right. Pretty good at it.
Very true.
Nice.
But yeah, so he get up and they make him start walking through the woods, but obviously he's not going at any kind of real speed.
He's
now.
selling it real good.
Walking on a broken leg. He's going at Undertaker speeds.
Yeah.
30-minute entrance.
And then Holt is the rest of us going like, come on, pick it up.
Just get in there already.
Why not just like be like, yeah, you're see you later, alligator.
Just shoot him in the head.
Just leave it behind.
Good luck,
Yeah,
buddy. Good luck.
Good luck with
There's a gun.
that.
Good luck.
Good luck with the double broken leg.
This guy was kind of like a scumbag too. You would just assume
Yeah.
that he would do that.
Yeah.
But he's like weirdly honorable at the end. I don't understand.
I don't know if it's honorable, but
Hmm.
Well, he tries to be anyway. I don't know.
And Brodie Lee, like at this point, can't really keep going too much, so he kind of gets separated here, and Holt just kind of goes off on his own, and he ends up, as we said a little bit earlier, back at the original fort or wherever they were hanging out in the woods, where everybody got slaughtered.
Well, you
And-
see her kill Brodie Lee before this.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
he like slows down and then
She pops up from behind the tree
yeah,
and
like
just
big
stabs him
big
in the throat.
ears. Yeah.
Stabs him right in the,
Can't
like,
find
side of
him.
the head or whatever. Yeah.
Then he turns
Yeah.
around and he's
The
like
neck.
20 feet ahead.
Yeah.
This is where the teleporting comes in. Like he's ahead of Big Ears now and leaning against a tree. And then he goes up and sees him, and that's when he gets stabbed in the side of the head. And she gets away by teleporting, like
Well-
running away somehow.
Because
He
she's
doesn't
Native American.
fight back.
She's part of the woods. Like that is
Yes.
consistent throughout. That they can kind of, they're better than the white people are at being hidden in the woods.
He is like
Yes.
1 inch away from her, and she gets away.
Yeah. So he's kind of like hunting her / just trying to survive the woods. And as it gets darker and darker, ends up back at the fort where where Calvin had killed the rest of his crew.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it's full horror movie now where there's smoke and
Yeah.
it's hard to see.
She had time to get back to the fort, lead him to the fort, set up the fort to be all creepy. with smoke.
Well, it was kind of already, yes, with the smoke and stuff, but it's already full of dead bodies from Calvin.
Well,
killing
yeah, but the
everybody.
smoke wasn't there.
No, she has lit a fire.
Yeah.
So they end up having like sort of a face-off.
What
And-
was this?
She had supernatural strength.
She did.
Mm.
Yeah.
She lifted him up like and slammed him. At
He's
one point.
obviously has reached another plane of existence.
Yes. Is she dead? Is she supposed to be dead and like a ghost or something?
Probably maybe some sort of
Based on her
Indian demon or Native American demon. Or I don't
Yeah,
know.
the woods are on her side here.
Yeah.
But so yeah, she like throws him across the thing, but then they end up actually getting into like a fight. She can't.
He
just kill him.
is winning.
He's
Yeah.
winning. Yeah, he's hitting her with.
He's bashing her head in with a rock and she's fine.
Yeah, he bashed her
Makes
head
you-
with a rock. At one point, he grabs her hand that he had earlier stabbed.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
rips it
gross.
in half, like between her
Yeah.
fingers, and rips it. In half.
Damn.
It
That
is
was-
Yeah.
disgusting.
Gross. Gross.
He throws a tomahawk at her and it gets her right in the chest, and then she pulls it out and throws it back at him.
Doesn't even budge.
Well, she's got the bone
No
chest
cell.
plate on.
No cell.
But yeah,
No
then he
selling
bashed her
everything.
in the head with the rock, as we said.
He bashed her in the head like 6 times with a rock and she's fine.
The rock
Oh.
breaks.
Right. That's right. But she's obviously a demon. She's dead and she's some sort of demon.
At this point, she's
not
obviously some
alive.
sort of demon.
Yeah,
And then,
she can't be
he
alive.
picks her up and like carries her and then throws him onto like a tree and like a branch goes through her
Well,
chest.
first she stabs him with her bone
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're
That's
right.
right.
because
With her hand bone.
her hand bone. She stabs him with the hand bone, and then in the beginning we see the demon or whatever wearing all the gear. Doesn't it have like hooves? It doesn't have hands. Like the one hand
Well,
is like a hoof.
Well, because she has her hand like taped up from it being broken, basically.
So maybe that's why.
She has like bones like made like a crude cast, basically.
Oh, okay.
But then she gets mad and picks him up by the shirt, carries him for like 20 feet, and then throws his body like another 20 feet
Right.
onto a tree where he is stabbed through the heart.
He's impaled.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And she just kind of walks away from it. Like
the missionaries come back.
and then
Or
not the missionaries.
Three people come.
Her like family comes back. The rest of the Mohawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't tell. Were these ghosts? These people?
No idea.
I had no idea.
They weren't people we'd seen before.
No.
I thought the one was her mother.
I thought
it's so too, but I don't think so.
I don't think it's her mother. I think it's just other people, and I think she's supposed to represent like their last hope now. Like she's all that stands in the way.
Mm.
I feel
Demon.
like this movie could have been a lot better. It didn't.
Bad
Like,
execution.
the idea was good. The execution, that's right. The execution wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could have been
they
better.
could have gotten through whatever, like an hour of this movie in 10 minutes and explained, like, okay, here's all this shit. Now let's freak you out while these 5 dudes run away in the woods and one demon chases them.
Yeah, would have been much better like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it enough, but it was certainly not a great movie. It was a lot that they left undone.
Left a lot to the imagination.
Yep.
It was good for being a low budget movie.
Yeah, that's true.
It was like a very nicely done fan film.
It was very much a like movie, not movie show, but like a film festival type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Short film almost. Could have been a short film, maybe. Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, you're
Brodie
right.
Lee.
Like, they didn't lean enough into the horror or into the like historical drama or
Right.
Yeah.
They split the difference, and that's not good.
There was no good twist. Other than, I guess, she was the demon. Was that supposed to be the twist?
Well, she turned into the demon.
Was that the twist?
We
the
kept
twist was that she had 2 boyfriends instead of 1.
we kept seeing this. We kept seeing this
Right. It
demon,
made no sense.
wondering what
Yeah.
it was, and then she turns into it.
I guess
Yeah.
that's the twist. I don't know.
Yeah, is that she sees herself as this thing before it happens.
I'll say this: Brodie Lee did a good job acting, much better than I thought he would have. So,
Yeah.
kudos to him. He should be in more
Sure.
movies. He's
I mean, he
weird
had, like,
looking
5
enough
lines,
where
but yeah,
he did a good job with those 5 lines.
he
but
did.
He should be in more movies, maybe.
He probably will.
He should. This is the only thing he's been in. He was in 1 episode of a TV series.
Yeah,
but
he was
that's it.
on. He had like a WWE cameo on some Western show on USA Network. But yeah, better than most wrestling actors.
Yeah.
At least in this one. All right, is it me next?
I believe it is.
You.
All right, we are going to be playing a game this upcoming week.
Okay.
I have stolen this from
Mike
Parts.
Closet.
I've stolen this from Parts Fun Known. So go out and check those guys out.
What?
Parts Fun Known.
Ooh.
They do a very fun wrestling quiz every Tuesday, I think. One of the categories they do is 20 questions. So we're going to play 20 questions where each of you will get a wrestler, and you have 20 questions to guess who it is. And then we'll add up the points at the end and see who wins.
Hulk Hogan.
So you get 1 clue, and then you get 20 questions, and then you get that amount of points. So if
I'm
you
guessing Hulk Hogan. My guy's Hulk Hogan.
if you got, I don't know how many rounds we're gonna do. I guess it depends on how fast you go. But
Is Mike's first one Hulk Hogan?
no,
Terry Scheller.
you're down to 18 questions for every one now. Sorry, Bill. But yeah, you'll get a clue, and then you have 20 questions to guess, and then whatever questions you have remaining will be your score, and whoever has the best score wins. And it's totally swiped from Parts Unknown, so go watch their stuff.
Michael Pretty Sexy Hayes.
You're down. You're already down to like 15 questions. This is not smart. Bad
Mike asked
strategy.
the first question.
Bad
It's Val
strategy.
Venus.
Oh, is it Val Venus?
Val Venus is
Your guy, he has a Beanie Baby. Go ahead. Val Venus. Val Venus Beanie Baby. Yeah. I wanted to steal the whole idea, but I feel like that's like the whole quiz. It's super fun. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take the 20 questions part. So you don't have to watch anything. It'll be Guess the Wrestler. And we'll see who wins.
Easy
not
enough.
gonna be me.
Could be you. You never know.
Maybe.
Could be you. Could
Doubtful.
be you. What do you mean?
Doubt-
Never know.
He came in second this
Today,
week on
by
Jeopardy
answering
trivia.
one question.
He came in second.
You beat me, and I'm the reigning champ of Real Jeopardy.
Yeah.
I dominated.
You're no longer the real champ. It's over. I won Wrestling 101.
You won a fake thing. I have one real internet dollar.
You won a fake thing. All right. That's it. This episode's over. Coming back next week with 20 questions. Should people go watch Mohawk on Netflix?
You're real bored.
If you're real bored.
Watch it late at night when it's dark out.
If you're on a board scale, what's the scale? Like a 5?
I would rather watch this than Roddy Piper's movie.
If you just finished
God.
a TV series and you're like, all right, I don't know what other TV series to get into, watch this first and then cleanse your palate.
Watch Community before you watch this.
I just finished second season of Community.
Wait, have
know
you
it's about to
never
go
seen
downhill.
Community?
I saw like the first 3 or 4 seasons back when it was
Oh,
on
okay.
TV.
So you've seen some of the good stuff then.
Yeah, and I'm about to get through. I have maybe one season of good stuff left.
One of my other
Place?
friends. Good Place.
No, the good stuff? Oh,
Oh,
you
Community.
mean- oh, okay, I see.
One of my other friends just started watching Community and knew nothing about it. Watched the
No,
first season and they're
So
like,
good.
yeah, is it really that good? Like you have to get through like the first season where nothing crazy happens and
Yep.
get to the crazy stuff and then decide if you like it or not because it gets weird.
The
It's
first
so
season's
weird.
really good. And the
Yeah,
second
First
season's
season
pretty
is
too.
good,
I
but
think
it's
the whole
not.
show is really good.
But it's more serious, like
Right.
Yes.
Real
like
world
college, real
stuff.
world, not
Yeah.
insanity that it gets to.
Yeah.
Once
The-
they get the first
Like the
paintball game,
paintball, yeah,
I
and
just
the
finished
pillow
watching
fort and
the
all
2
that.
episode second paintball one.
Right.
Yep, okay.
The Dungeons and Dragons, the Darkest Timeline,
I haven't gotten to
the
the
Dinner
timeline.
with Andre.
Darkest Timeline's probably my favorite episode.
I haven't gotten there yet. That's season 3, I think.
Is Darkest Timeline the one where they build their own holodeck? Which one is that?
No. I meant like the timelines where he flips the
Right.
he
But there's
goes
one
up-
where he has like they build a holodeck, like a Star Trek
Right.
style holodeck in an episode.
and it's him and Annie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, that one's weird too. That one's
because
fun.
Troy can't break up with Britta.
right. And then the air conditioning school. That one's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did it wasn't one of the better episodes, but I thought the idea was funny that they did one of the recap episodes. But every time they did a cutaway, it was to a scene that was not actually in the show.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, remember we were looking for leprechauns on
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day?
Remember this crazy ass thing that happened that we never talked about? All right. That's enough talk about Community. That's it. We are done. Peace out. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Yeah.